Better than that. Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 1700 GMT. This is 97.3 Citi FM. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, which offers you great interviews, analysis, and news summaries. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Coming up tonight, campaign team members of Chairman Wontemi visit him at the Nsawam prison the day after he was handed a 20-year prison sentence in hard labor. We'll find out how he's faring in custody. Also coming up, U.S. Immigration Court explains why it granted permanent residence to former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, saying the evidence brought by our OSP is weak. And later on Eyewitness News,
in response to the feedback from the service personnel and general public, and as well as in line with the sector ministers and board's directive, a capacity building program, as currently structured, is hereby suspended with immediate effect. We wish to assure every national service personnel that there will be no further deductions on behalf of all in relation to the capacity building training.
National Service Scheme suspends contract to deduct 60 cedis from each NSS person for capacity building following heavy backlash. Later on the show, we have business news from the City Business Desk. We have news summaries from the City Newsroom. And then we have talk back from you, the listener, as you send me messages in reaction to the stories we are bringing you tonight. If you want to send your messages, the WhatsApp number is 0539 986 996 0539 986 996. You can also go on Twitter, formerly known as now known as X, and send messages by mentioning my handle at Umaru Sanda or at City973. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we are on Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, Sky 93.5 FM. All of them are based in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. We are also on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso in the Ahafo region. In the Ashanti region, we are on Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Akpini Radio 96.7 in Kwando and Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohwe. In Northern region, we are on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, we are on Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. On Bolga 102.7 FM in Bolgatanga and Gumzang 90.1 FM in Tongo. In Upper West, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In Northeast, we are on Eagle 94.1 FM in Wale Wale, as well as Radio Jimbali 107.3 FM in Jimbali. We are live on YouTube and live on Facebook. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Yesterday, the High Court sitting in Accra sentenced Chairman Wontemi, his real name, Bernard Entribo-Siakum, his title, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, hoping to be National Chairman of the party. He was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment in hard labor, and he's supposed to be at the Nsawam prisons. 1 day out of 20 years. How is Chairman Wontemi doing? His campaign team members went to visit him today. The campaign team, led by the campaign manager, George Boahin Odro, who is also, he is the chairman of that particular campaign, or manager of that particular campaign. He led the team there today. We want to speak to him and understand how Chairman Wontemi is doing. Mr. Boahin Odro, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, my brother.
Confirm first if Chairman Wontemi is in Nsawam or Akuse or Ankafo. Where exactly is he being held? Oh, why are you laughing?
Good evening, my brother.
Oh, but why are you laughing? I was asking a very
the way you are mentioning the locations.
Oh, I just want to be sure. So where exactly was he sent to?
Presently, I can confirm to you, Chairman Wontemi is in his own prison, and he has started his sentence in Assat yesterday from 4 p.m.
Oh, so he spent the night.
We went there this morning. He spent the night at Sisamu yesterday, and he went there this.
Hello, Mr.
Pay him a visit.
Mr. Odro, sorry, I keep losing you. So if you can repeat what you just said, I would appreciate it.
Okay, let me reposition myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. What I'm saying is that this morning we paid him a visit. And as at now, I can confirm to you, he has started his sentence at the Sound prisons from yesterday, 4 p.m. So we left there around 2 p.m. this afternoon. So he's at Insam as I speak to you now.
Okay, so how many of you went there today, and was it easy to see him?
Yeah, when we went there, we were 5 in number. And the prison officers, well, before I start, let me commend the prison officers. They acted very professionally. We thank them very much. The reception they gave us was excellent. So when we went there, we were 5 in number. And the officers told us he came just yesterday. So they are now doing his profiling. So they are now to do some forms and a whole lot of things doing by him. So they cannot allow us to go. Then I explained to them further that there are certain items we brought. That is why we came. There are certain things he needs them. So you have to give it to him. So they agreed to our plea and said, okay, if that is the case, they will allow only one of us to enter to go and speak to him. I said, that is fine, because the reason why we came here was very, very important. So I went there with his junior brother. So I asked the junior brother to convey the message and deliver the items to him. So the junior brother entered the prison, spoke to him, and delivered the items to him, and said very well, he's okay, everything is fine. So he's doing well. He's doing very, very okay at Insahum now. But then when he went there, it took us almost about 2 hours before they allow the junior brother to enter. So that is the process we went through today.
Interesting. So, which means that even if people wanted to go and visit him today, it would be difficult to see him. And that is what you also encountered. So you couldn't get to see him face to face.
No, the junior brother saw him face to face. And not that when you want to visit him, it is going to be difficult. No, that's not the case. What we were told, he came in only last night. And when you come fresh, like when he came in yesterday, the profiling and the processing takes a time. So we should give them time to finish what they are doing. And they even ask us if we can come tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the perfect visiting day. So we can come fully tomorrow and visit him. But as of today, they were doing some profiling on him. So they couldn't allow all of us to go and see him. That was the process. Not that they prevented us or they don't want us to enter to see him. However, you see, when any environment, there are rules and regulations governing any institution. So when they told us that they cannot allow the 5 of us to enter, but based on what I explained to them, because of what we were supposed to give to him, which is very, very important to him, they agreed to us and then said, fine. Initially, they wanted us to come tomorrow. That we insisted that the police station allow us to see him and you show them what we are supposed to give them. So when they saw it, they said, oh, okay, that is fine. That's why they allow only one of us to enter. So they said from tomorrow we can come at any number.
Okay.
That's what happened.
What did the brother say was the state of affairs? So what's the condition of Chairman Wontumi? What did the brother tell you?
From what he told me, that when he said, oh, I'm outside, and they said, the officers said they wouldn't allow me to come because we are many and they are working on it. He said, oh, Ajoja couldn't come. And he was just smiling and said he's fine. And initially, when you leave, from court, there's no conversation between you and your family and your friends. They just hook you to the prison. So there are certain information he has to give to him to come and give to the family and then the friends and the management team. So that's a private conversation he had with the brother that he came to tell us. But in terms of health-wise and socializing, he is as he is already. He's very fine. Okay. But the most important thing is what you went to discuss with him and what we delivered to him. So maybe from tomorrow, then you continue and discuss other things with him.
You mentioned his family. Do you mind sharing with us what number of wives, number of children he left behind? And when I use behind here, not in that negative sense, but I mean genuinely.
No. You know, when I say family, you know, he's a married man with kids. But I cannot go into details without his permission to give you the number of kids, number of wives, or whatever.
Okay.
All I can say is his family. You need to get information from him to the family.
Okay.
And tell them he's doing well. He's very fine.
That's fair.
But to his personal family issues, unless I discuss with him, I cannot do that without his consent.
No problem. Does it mean you would go back to tomorrow now that you have been assured that you get to see him tomorrow when you go?
Yes, but on our way coming, you know Wutini's brother.
I don't know.
One of his brothers is a Catholic priest in Takoradi now.
Okay.
So on our way coming, he called that he want to join us tomorrow. I will confirm that around 8 p.m. So when he confirmed that he's coming, then tomorrow he will go. So based on his brother's discussion, will allow us either to go tomorrow or Thursday. I want to go there with the brother, who is a Catholic priest. I don't know whether you are aware of that.
No, I am not aware.
His brother.
I know he speaks. I know he speaks. Is it Hebrew or? But I didn't know that.
He himself. You know, he attended the Bible school. He wanted to be a priest. He himself.
Oh, I see.
So we are waiting for the brother's confirmation.
And then he diverted to mining, mining and politics. Did
you yourself? Maybe you two diverted your profession. I thought maybe you were supposed to be a pilot. And you decided to do journalism. Anybody can divert.
This man, you know
so
me.
It's okay.
You know me, pa. It's okay. Let me not go. If I go, you will push me to a corner. I cannot stay. Were other members of the party aside you, the campaign team members there? Did they give you an indication that they would come and visit him, or the party has
Oh, no. You know, yesterday the party issued a statement with regard to his sentencing. That's the party side.
Yes.
My part is the campaign. You know, he was aspiring to be the national chairman.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I just want to know whether, apart from the press conference they did yesterday, the party people, did they go to visit him?
I wouldn't know because I've not spoken to the party. I went there on behalf of the campaign team. So maybe I'm supposed to meet Andy Afiaku with the former lawyer this evening around 7.
Why do you need to meet him? He has handed over the brief. Why do you need to meet him? You should be meeting Attah, not Andy Afiaku. He has handed over. He said
Wutimi's case, so many people don't have the details. Wutimi is having 3 cases in court now. This one was criminal court 4, the one he was sentenced yesterday. He has another case at court 1, criminal court 1. Then he has this Exim Bank issue as well. So, and the appeal could be was handling both the court 1 and the court 4. Then he handed the court 4 to Attah, and he still has the court 1, which he is in charge.
Okay.
If he has to leave that one too, I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm going to see him based on the court 1 issue. So people thought it's only one case. You know, Wutimi is a target. So the court 1 and the court 4, if you read the procedure, the charge sheet, it's almost the same. So why don't they combine the 2 and make it one case? But
they are not the same forest.
He's dealing with a state.
The court 4 is Summer Boy Forest, and the court 1 is Town on
Numeri Forest.
So you cannot say it's the same thing.
But it's the same charge sheet, same thing.
Yes, but
Same
if
people who were
you
charged.
but if you steal a
Who were
Pajero,
charged.
if you steal a Pajero and you also go and steal a Peugeot, you have committed two different crimes at two different places.
But you are still a thief.
Yes, but
You are still a thief. So
anyway, let's not litigate that. My question to you is
right.
your position as campaign manager. You know that when the gavel landed yesterday, your appointment effectively came to an end because you're a campaign manager for Wontumi to be chairman of the NPP. I mean, he's not Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, so I'm not sure you want him to win chairmanship from Nsawam when he's supposed to be there for the next 20 years. And that tenure is just for 4 years. So you should actually start resigning too, like Andy Apiakubi did.
Okay. What you should understand is that there's nothing on this end that is beyond God Almighty. That's number one. Number two, Wontumi wanted to be a national chairman of a political party. So the campaign, we have decided to speak to the party. That's either tomorrow or Thursday. Speak to the administrator of the party, who is the general secretary. That what are the rules and regulations governing this party in case a candidate who is hopeful or aspiring to be an officer at the highest level of the party, when he gets himself into such problem like what has happened to Chairman Wontumi, what are the consequences? Can the person still contest, or can he be contesting in another time? The party needs to tell us and give us the rules and regulations. What is your issues?
What is your thinking?
My thinking is that Chairman Wontumi is going to do an appeal. Chairman Wontumi can come out Friday, Monday, Tuesday, 1 month, anytime. The party still has 2 months to conduct that elections. So right now, we cannot write him off. The 20 years you said was a sentence they gave to him yesterday. But that doesn't mean confirmed that he's going to spend 20 years, because there are so many processes that will follow or has to be followed after the sentencing. So we need to get this clarity from the party and then know the way forward.
So as
that's
campaign
number two. Then three. Then three, when you go to visit him, you are going to ask him, now you yourself, are you still interested in contesting? Should in case you are released, or should in case you are still here? Then based on that, you combine that to what the party will tell us. Then as a management, we issue a statement on the decision we're taking after that negotiations.
As a campaign manager, is it your thinking that he should still be on the ballot despite the fact that he's in prison, because there's a possibility that he would come out on appeal? Mr. Odro, sorry, I'm losing you again. Hello, Mr. Odro. Mr. Odro, can you hear me?
The election is going to go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I think I lost.
I can hear you.
Yes, I didn't get your response to the question.
Okay. What I'm saying is that the election is going to come on September 19th. For the meantime, the nominations has not even been opened. So once he has not done the appeal, and when the appeal is done, he can come out even before nominations are open. No one knows tomorrow. So it's too early to write him off or to call off his campaign.
Meaning you would continue to campaign for Chairman Wontumi?
I have to campaign for him. The supporters and everybody who has love for Wontumi, whoever is involved in the upcoming elections, should wait and give us at least a week or two to come up with a statement whether Wontumi is no more contesting or we are calling off Wontumi's competition. Then we will decide as a team and tell the supporters exactly what they are supposed to do. But as for today and tomorrow, they should please exercise patience with us and give us some few days for us to come out with the way forward.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
All right. Thank you, Maru.
That's George Boahin Odro. He's campaign manager of Wuntumi's campaign team. Chairman Wuntumi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, was sentenced to 20 years imprisonment yesterday, which he's serving in the Sawam prison. They went to visit him today. And you heard that there are lots of angles, different angles to Chairman Wuntumi's incarceration, which we'll be exploring here on Eyewitness News. But let me also introduce my guest in studio, who is not here to talk about Chairman Wuntumi, but other things. So we have a potpourri of issues that we look at here on Eyewitness News. We just came back from the World Cup. Well, we came back earlier because we were embarrassing. So we came back early, but Spain came back yesterday. I think Argentina, maybe if they get plane to their country, they would also possibly be going back maybe today or yesterday. I'm not sure, but we came back earlier. And football, the Black Stars is part of gamut of issues we call Ghana Sports. And we recently established a fund called the Ghana Sports Fund. And the administrator of that sports fund is actually my guest in studio tonight. And I'm also expecting Haruna Mohammed of the NPP to be joining us later. We talk about other matters. Dr. David Kofi Wako is administrator of the Ghana Sports Fund. You're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much.
If you could just come closer to the microphone, please. How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
When I hear the name Wako, I think of the Wako Commission. Are you the one who was chairman of the Wako Commission, or that's your grandfather or father or uncle?
In fact, it's my uncle.
Oh, it's your uncle.
He's gone to be with the Lord a few years ago.
May he rest well. Wako Commission, I remember that.
Okay.
At the time I was in the village.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Very, very fine by His grace.
Good to see you. What is a sports fund? Ghana Sports Fund. What is that?
Okay, Ghana Sports Fund is becoming a household name in Ghana since the act was passed in December 2025. The act establishes the fund as an entity established by government to plan and organize a sustainable funding of sport development in Ghana.
So it's a new fund.
It is a brand new fund.
Like Get Fund, like Common Fund, those kind of things.
Exactly.
And where's the source of funding for the fund?
There are a number of sources of sources to the fund as stipulated by the Act 2025, Act 1159. Stipulate a number of sources for the funds, including one, government annual budgetary allocations to the fund, which demonstrates government's continuous commitment to sport development in Ghana and beyond. And also, we are encouraged, or we are mandated to partner with National Lottery to develop special lotteries to gain some revenues from there. There are aspects of the Gaming Commission proceeds or profits annually to be shared with the fund, which will start next year. And there are various sources, including but not limited to percentages from the bonuses that is to be paid to any athletes moving from Ghana to participate in an international competition, that government will be paying some bonuses to both the athletes and the technical team. Some percentages will go to support the sports fund. Transfers of athletes, including players and whatever, from Ghana, some percentages will be paid to the fund. There are aspects of percentages on adverts on all beverages, advertisement costs of all beverages. Some percentage are to be paid to the fund to develop the fund. In fact, most importantly, corporate Ghana is also encouraged, as well as all individuals in Ghana are encouraged, as well as donor funding and anywhere we can get.
Do you also have some GOG funding, direct GOG funding? Is there something that's supposed to come from GOG, Government of Ghana?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned first. That is the annual allocation, budgetary allocation.
Okay, you have an annual allocation of what? Or that will be at the discretion of the...
Yeah, the annual budget that the finance
whatever
minister
they give you.
Yes.
Okay, after you present your budget through your ministry, right?
Your ministry.
You are under Ministry of Sports.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And you are what? How old are you as a fund?
As a fund, we are about 6 months old.
6 months. So I'm sure a lot of the funding areas you talk about, the percentages on transfers, beverages, that's yet to come in, or has it started coming in?
Not yet. In fact, what we are doing now is to establish the fund. The fundamental thing, the structures must be in place, getting our office location, getting the required technical staffs to help set the fundamental of the fund, the systems and the processes. The board has been established in February, and we started working, trying to put...
So the contributions are supposed to come by law have they not started trickling in yet?
Some donations have started coming in. If you
so donations are, I want to know the structured ones that you expect.
The structured ones, yes, have not.
How about the finance ministry's budgetary allocation? Has that come yet?
It hasn't come yet. One, because the fund was established in December, whereas 2026 budget appropriation was done earlier, and they couldn't have done anything legally to provide for us. So we are hoping as soon as possible something will be coming from government.
The budget on Thursday, you are hoping that did they ask you to bring your budget?
Our minister informed us that there has been communications along that line. So we are hoping and trusting that something should come up.
So what are you running on? If you don't have governmental budgetary allocation, you don't have any statutory fund coming through, what are you running on? Or how are you running?
On our feet.
Of course, as sports people.
Our feet is our...
okay. But so what is the source of funding you're using to run on?
Yeah, so like I said, as a matter of fact, we receive a few donations from especially Parliament of Ghana. Some of the MPs, including my minister and other ministers, have made some voluntary contributions, and other institutions, including some banks, are helping us. Some donations are coming in kind in aspect of setting up our offices. So these few things that are trickling it are keeping us at flow.
Did you have to do your own personal money? Did you have to put in your personal money to help run the fund in the interim, or you are just hoping that it will come for you to run, the money will come?
You being personal as in
yes.
Waku.
Yes, Waku putting money inside.
The Lord didn't provide for that. If I do anything, it's a donation to the fund that we are encouraging anybody to do.
So if you are still setting up, it means do you have an office here?
Yes, we have an office
at
the World Trade Center.
Expensive place like that.
In fact, it is a contribution from SNIT. Okay. The space is a contribution from SNIT.
So that's equity from SNIT.
We'll say CSR than equity, yes.
Okay. How about vehicles for your operations? Where are you getting vehicles?
None. I use my personal car.
Wow. And your staff? How many staff?
And my deputy, I don't know how he comes to office and go back.
Maybe he comes with Trotro.
Maybe.
Who is your deputy?
My deputy is lawyer Simon Attah-Mensah.
Okay. Now, how many other staff do you have?
For staffs, we have not engaged any formal staff yet. We just have some volunteers who help us to do our setups. So formally, we have not engaged anybody yet.
So for now, the only two people running the sports fund are Mr. Wako and Mr. Apia.
And my board, the governing board, 11-member governing board.
Okay, if someone wants to come and do internship at your place to do free work for you, but
yes, for now, you take it like national service.
So it means you are not taking salary?
Yes.
5 months working, no salary?
Yes.
You have gray hair, which means you have already retired and you are not collecting salary. So wow,
in fact, I'm not 60.
You are not 60?
It's gray hair. It's a family wisdom.
Okay.
Yes.
But how is it? You can't be working for 5 months without salary, no money, nothing. Or you just hope?
There's sure hope. Public service, he has to go through certain processes which we are agreed to do. and very soon it's a form of savings we are doing.
Because you have just been set up, I don't even know whether it would be fair to ask if there's anything you have achieved so far.
I believe we have achieved, like I mentioned, setting up a fund. It is not just opening an office. There are structures that need to be put in place, systems to be in place, which we have worked on. We have some stakeholder engagements. We try to have meetings with all other stakeholders, agencies under the sports ecosystem. At least we have opportunity to do some official visitations to some installations, sports installations, visit some grassroots sports participation or competition. We both of us have opportunity to visit America on the World Cup too. So we are having a good assessment of the task ahead of us, which is a good work we think we are doing now.
But it's too early here. So now let's talk about something that your athletes talk about a lot of the time. They say that they don't receive support until the competition is very close. How do you think you can deal with this?
Which athletes, please?
Athletes in the various sporting events that we do, the support that is given to them by government, they say that the sponsorships or the support doesn't come until sometime close to the event or even when they start the event. The assumption is that you're supposed to come in there and support them. Is that fair?
Okay, the assumption is that sports fund?
Yes.
Oh, the sports
you
fund.
don't have a role in the support that goes to them.
For now, even the World Cup, because the qualifications were done before our establishment, we didn't partake in the organization of that. So most things that are happening now is much of the normal formal system through the ministry, applied through to the finance ministry, and the allocations are made directly through the Ministry of Sports and Recreation to them. I think that's the process. Maybe it's just a process.
I was under the assumption that you would be supporting the athletes. Rather, I've just realized that you'll be taking from them. You'll be taking percentage of their allocation to them.
No. If I mention our mandate is to help develop sports.
Yeah, but you also mentioned that as part of your source of funding, you take percentages from monies given to players.
Yes,
so for instance, bonuses.
Yes.
So for instance, if the Black Stars had won anything and we give them bonus, you collect some.
In fact, they won some things. Qualifying to the World Cup is a winning.
So you collected some of them
for sure.
You collected percentage.
We have to. That is what the law says. So we'll only be implementing the law.
Okay. So how do you help with their development then? If you take their money, what do you do?
Okay. So take it from where these athletes develop from. The pitches they started training from, even from schools to the national stadiums around, and the technical advices they receive from our local trained coaches and all that. These are government sponsored activities. So they are developed with government resources. So definitely, if we are building a system that will sustain their development, everybody has to come on board. We are calling on people who do not even benefit directly, but indirectly, to come and support. So if they themselves demonstrate that commitment of seeing their development faster, I think it's a call in good direction.
Football gets a lot of sponsorship and support from governments. The other sports, boxing, parasports, swimming, and the rest, they seldom get the support that they need. As a fund, how can you fix that if it is even part of your mandate at all?
Okay, so
how can you correct that?
Yes. So for us, I think sometimes the analysis we do, it is just at the face of it. We talk about how much football take, but we don't talk about how much football brings. So the reality is football is big globally. Everybody will accept that football is big. So if you are doing direct comparative analysis, you would think football is taking much than the others, but relatively every sport is getting some. With the sports fund, we are coming out with an acceptable formula of distribution of our funds or our support system to all sports, not only football, all sports. In fact, some of them that are not even in existence, we have a mandate to create and develop it. So we are looking at all the 58 or so registered federations. We take football as just one federation. Many others are there, would come out with a formula acceptable for benefits to all of them. So this is a structured system of helping sport development.
Your sector minister, Kofi Adams, had made an announcement earlier that all the fundraising campaigns that have been embarked on, if they generate enough and the necessary expenses are done, the balance would be paid to the sports fund. Has that happened yet?
It has not happened yet, but
Why?
I trust him. I know it will be done. You know, we just returned from the World Cup. All the accounts have not been balanced yet, so we are going through the processes. Even today, I visited some of the stakeholders with regard to that, so the process is ongoing.
If you are given the money you require, maybe you are mentioning the budget on Thursday, all the funds start coming in, what are the key things you intend to implement?
Okay. Number one, our name is a fund. A fund is not just a platform of distribution. A fund is a platform of growing monies available for sustainability. So our mandate provides that we support grassroots and school sport development where talents are identified and developed. So talent development in sports is one of our mandate. Sports infrastructure development is another mandate we are very committed to. We're talking about our stadia across. We want to see internationally standard stadia, at least 2 or more in Ghana. We want to see technical staff development in sports, and we want to see ourselves start preparing for international competitions. The mandate also provides that we organize or support those mandates. As we speak now, the Commonwealth Olympics is going on in Scotland, and if we have capacity, we should be supporting. There's a Morocco women football is going to happen very soon, and many international competitions that Ghana has to participate. So if we have any fund, we're going to invest some, and we will try to see which one of this issue we should start tackling.
You just returned from the World Cup.
Yes.
What are some of the things you learned from there that you think and will implement locally for our benefit as a country?
Good. The first thing I learned from this World Cup is organization. If you see how the World Cup is organized, my brother, I was so amazed. Such huge or big event is organized with precision that you hardly see what is called mistake. You hardly see what is described as unfortunate. Entering the stadium, your seat, even the ticket you are holding, you know your row, you know your seat number. If you are not there, nobody will sit on that seat. You go and sit on that particular seat, and nobody struggle with you. The stadium, at least I visited 2 stadiums. Very huge. When you are one side, you don't know how whether you can find the other, but it is very easy to enter because you are directed, and it is full. So organization is one good thing that leads to planning ahead of time. I learned that planning ahead of time is very, very good. Number 3, I also learned that football, it is not just a hobby or a fun game now. It is a whole industry that if a country can put their resource into it, if you ask me, my life has been a financial institution all my life, but I've entered football these few days. I am convinced that any investment well structured and made into football can change the fortunes of this country. I've been mentioning the youngest player, Lamine Yamal, in this tournament, 19-year-old boy, he was identified at age 2, groomed by 7, he started playing football. By the time he crossed 9-10, he started playing competitive match. By 16, he's playing in the global pitch, played the World Cup. Can you imagine that young guy at 19, how much money he's sending back to his country? Okay. So as a country, if we can pick talents and develop them within the shortest possible time, we are changing lives. Okay. We are
talking about changing lives. In Ghana these days, we see astroturf springing up here and there, some by private people. I think the state is also involved in somewhere.
Yes.
Where's your village?
Peki.
So a village boy listening to us in Peki who likes football, what would the sports fund do for them so that they get to become the Asamoah Gyangs of our world?
Exactly. So our thinking or our practice, I even have a meeting with my minister yesterday on this. You see, the astroturf, as you call them, they sprinkle around plenty, but research is showing that there are some disadvantages of proliferation of these astroturfs. They are not really helping too much. So our thinking is that we want to try and cite at least a natural pitch accessible to the bigger community that young people can participate or can train on, especially in the regions that has no sporting infrastructure, especially for the grassroots sport development. So it is something we are thinking about coming out with a plan very soon to start tackling a place of training for young people, especially from our villages, including my own. Yeah.
We have to go, but since you are a finance person, there's something called the sports economy. By the time you are done with your tenure, how would the economy of government benefit from this sports fund, and why would President Mahama not regret appointing you as administrator?
I think in the wisdom of the president and allowing this act to be passed, the sports fund is going to move sports from nowhere to the GDP of Ghana. That is one thing we will be working hard to give a good legacy for President Mahama for establishing the sports fund. That sports fund should help develop sports, that when we are calculating our GDP, we will see a line allocated to sports in terms of revenue, not expenditure on our GDP.
Dr. David Kofi Wako, Administrator, Ghana Sports Fund. It's been great having you. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best. We'll come back again and see how you're faring.
Thank you, Mario. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I believe it's a beginning. And Citi FM listeners, thank you very much.
You know that our star presenter is from Peki.
Who is that?
Bernard Avle.
I'm looking for him.
You're looking for him? Yeah. You're his uncle, right? Maybe.
Are you sure Bernard is from Peki?
Yes, half. He's half Georgia, half Peki.
Because the Avle, fine. So let him meet me.
You come and meet
I should come and meet you.
Thank you so much, sir, and all the best. That's the administrator of the Ghana Sports Fund, Dr. David Kofi Wako, joining me in studio. Up next, I'll be engaging Haruna Mohammed, his Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, because there's a lot to talk about. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Sport day. Charlie, you sure say you pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah motion.
Respond
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know they lose God.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, oh, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayment. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. We are looking at a number of stories tonight. The campaign team of Mr. Bernard Nchebo-Siako went to visit him today at the Nsawan prison. Only his brother could meet him because the prison officers said they were still going through the formalities. Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party yesterday held a press conference and said that Chairman Wontumi was a political prisoner and other issues, saying that they would actually appeal his incarceration or his sentencing. Mohammed Haruna is Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. He's in studio with me. Moya, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I am fine, Maro.
Everything under control?
Yes, everything is under control.
Yesterday, when you heard that Chairman Wontumi had been jailed, as a party officer and also as a member of the NPP, how did you feel?
Actually, I have to say good evening to your cherished listeners and then viewers on your social media handles. Yesterday was a Black Monday to us as a party. I was so disappointed with what happened. I was so saddened about what has happened to our chairman from the Ashanti region. Totally, I was put off.
You didn't expect that he may go. Is it the case that you thought there was no case against him at all, or you thought that even if he was, it wouldn't be this hefty, the sanction?
No, I didn't think that Chairman Wontumi will receive such a judgment by sending him to jail, because I have followed the case very critical and taken briefings on what is currently happening and the evidences that he has also adduced to the court. I never expected these particular conclusions.
Right now, your opponents would be legitimate if they went to town and said that you are a Galamsey party, because the regional executives plus the national executive put together, you have a name you call them. Is that the steering committee?
Yes.
You call good. That a steering committee of member of your party has been jailed by a competent court of jurisdiction for engaging in illegal or unlawful mining. What would you say to that?
Unfortunately, he's not a steering committee member of the party.
Oh, I'm referring to. I think you have another committee below the NEC. There's another committee.
It's NEC.
Okay,
he's a member of NEC.
NEC rather. So
yes.
That's what I was looking for.
And he's a member of NEC by virtue of his position as regional chairman.
Yes. So that's what I'm trying to say.
And if anybody says so, then the person has gotten the facts wrong.
Why?
If you read through the judgment, you would not see anywhere that Chairman Wontumi has been labeled as a Galamsey.
But he enabled Galamsey.
That is what they said, and that is what we are appealing, because he himself has also said in the processes of the adjudication that he did not give anybody concession to mine for reclamation. And it is not about when you give concession, your land or your property to somebody to reclaim. It does not necessarily mean the person should go ahead to mine. So, and this has also been put on record. So,
but the judge explained that because he didn't pay for reclamation, he cannot say he gave the land out for reclamation. Because if you give me land to reclaim, you pay me to do the reclamation. But you don't just give me land, and the person who you gave it to came to say that, oh, he gave it to me and said I should mine and use the proceeds to do the reclamation.
And you see, there was no evidence of even releasing to the person. And there is no evidence to prove to the fact that he has asked the person to mine and then use it for as the process for the cost of that. There has not been evidence that was adduced to support those particular explanations. And clearly, it is shown that Chairman Wontumi is a licensed miner who have license from the Republic of Ghana. Chairman Wontumi clearly was stated, and it is on record, that Chairman Wontumi has not engaged himself in illegal mining, which is also on record. So in all the processes, it will be very difficult for Chairman Wontumi to be labeled as a galamseya. That is a fact. But if the NDC would want to move on that particular tangent, then definitely there is that question of just selective justice, of which we in our press conference has explained to the people of Ghana, because we label Chairman Wontumi as a political prisoner. He's a political prisoner because he's a politician. And Chairman Wontumi has been targeted for these reasons for far too long because of the nature of Chairman Wontumi. In all these particular circumstances and scenarios that is driving this particular conversation, other members within the other political divide, specifically in NDC, one, the national organizer of the NDC, two, the national vice chairperson of the NDC, Abanga. Again, two MPs are complicit in these particular activities. The Awin MP, of which your station has reported severally of the activities that is happening within the Awin area, and also the tax and the number of gunshots and what have you that has happened within that particular sector. Again, if you go to the Ahafo region, one of the MPs, Oscar, he too has been mentioned severally, even including the chiefs from his constituency. So these are members of the NDC. At least 4 of them has been classically been mentioned, and 2 of them has been referred to Iyoko. What we all know in this particular time period, Iyoko has been very focused on people they arrest and people they investigate. And all the opposition members Iyoko investigate, all of them, at any point in time, you have them being reported on within the media cycles. When was the last time you read about the national organizer, that is Joseph Yamin? When was the last time you read about Abanga Yakubu, his brother, the one in the NDC? When was the last time you read about him? They are completely mute on that, but they are clear to select and to persecute and finally have to jail Chairman Wontumi on this particular procedure. And that is why we have referred the matter to the legal team to review that and move ahead to have an appeal for us to go to the appeal court for a decision.
Before you ask for those other persons in the NDC to be investigated and prosecuted, you have to admit that your chairman engaged in an illegality and the court of the land has found that he has. Concede on that, condemn what has happened, and admit that he was engaged in a criminality and the court has pronounced that before you ask for others to be brought in judgment. Because if you don't agree to one, then you can't be inviting others to be brought.
Umaru, first, we are not against the fight of illegal mining.
Mm-hmm.
2, the MPP as a party, we respect the rule of law. 3, we are not against any judicial or legal process to unearth or lift the veil on any individual that is engaged in.
But when you come and do a press conference and say political prisoner ABCD, that's what you are trying to
No, we are not, because Chairman Wontumi has been prosecuted outside in opposition before they got to government. And true to the fact, Chairman Wontumi has been moved left, right, center. As we said, it is not only this one that is even on Chairman Wontumi. There are other cases that is on Chairman Wontumi. In the other case, you look at it as if Chairman Wontumi took a cutlass or a pump action gun, went to the bank and took a loan and said he's not going to pay. And that has not been the case. So Chairman Wontumi has been a target because of the way he criticizes the NDC. And because Chairman Wontumi is a target, he is being treated differently from other politicians. And we are not saying that if Chairman Wontumi is engaged in any activity that is illegal, court or the laws should not investigate. But when the law is doing the investigation, there must be fairness and to ensure that the facts is put in its appropriate place. And that is why we are of the view that if Chairman Wontumi was going to be given the opportunity to prove on all this and for all the systems to look at the evidence that is adduced before, I don't think that Chairman Wontumi would have even made a step, neither to talk of even getting to Nsawam. So we believe that Chairman Wontumi is still a political prisoner.
So you are not a lawyer, of course, and you've said that you refer the matter to the lawyers and they would advise the party. But yesterday I heard you suggest through your boss they are going to appeal the case. I mean, what would be your locus for going to court? Go and tell court that you jailed person A, B, C, D, and the court does not know him as a politician. It knows him as an individual who have been tried individually and sentenced. So you go to court and say you are MPP, and so what?
No, you see, when you are going to court to appeal, you don't go as a political party. You know, corporate, there is difference between an individual and a corporate institution.
Yes.
So they are entities. But the party is directing the legal unit of the party and the legal counsel that represented Chairman Wontumi to take copy of the judgment and appeal against the judgment delivered by the court.
So you are taking over the case from his privately appointed lawyer.
We are having all the lawyers put together. Yesterday, all of them were with us.
If the man who has been jailed hasn't said that he wants you to come and litigate his matter for him, he appointed his own lawyer, and when he was firing that lawyer to appoint a new one, he did it on his own. So why are you suddenly hopping in as a party?
We are an interested party because Chairman Wontumi is the regional chairman of the MPP. And we are interested in the case because we want to get to the bottom of the matter. And that is why we are asking for a judicial review by way of appealing to the appeals court.
Those who are interested in him went to visit him today, his campaign people. You as a party did not go to visit him. After the press conference yesterday, all went home, slept and forgot about it.
A lot of things is being done and behind the scenes. We are not expected to go and make it public. We have many other things that we do behind the scenes in terms of how he was moved, where he has gone, his medications. There are so many things that we are doing, and we don't need to.
So you haven't abandoned him?
Put sunshine on it, not at all. Chairman Wontumi will never be abandoned. We are with him, and we'll continue to be with him.
What is his status as your regional chairman? Does that end with the incarceration, or he's still your chairman? How do you deal with this matter?
Chairman Wontumi is still the Ashanti regional chairman, being in prison as a politician.
Explain that.
Because
he wasn't in prison because he went to a rally, or he wasn't opposing the government over an issue that the government was implementing and he was arrested. That's what a political prisoner may be. Or he's fighting for independence and they arrested him like Nelson Mandela and went to lock him up. He's not that kind of person. He's a person who owned a concession, who either knowingly or not, one of the court has says he knowingly engaged someone else to engage in illegal mining on his land without the permit of the minister. And don't forget that Wontumi's woes started when you were in power, when your own minister for lands, MP now for Damongo, raised the alarm bells that he was engaging in an illegality. So why would you be blaming this government and saying he's a political prisoner when you started the issue?
Umaru, I'm happy this matter has come up. In fact, and to put the record straight, Jinapo never said that Akunta Mining specifically was engaged in illegality.
Okay.
They said that there are reports that Akunta Mining is engaged in this, and he called for investigation. Further to that, the Minerals Commission wrote a letter to Akunta Mining So there was no specific incident that this is being found that Akunta Mining is actually engaged in this specific illegality. But the ministry indicated their resolve to deal with any matter that concerns Akunta Mining if they are found guilty in that particular forest reserve. So it wasn't. Secondly, you talk about political prisoner. He did not do A or B or C. If Chairman Wuntumi's name was called Joseph Yamin, I don't think that he would have gone to prison.
Why? NDC has a history of jailing its own. It jailed Abuga Pele. And it actually just sent Sedina Tamaklo to prison after she returned to
Abuga Pele's case started under us. So they did not go to court
They
with
could
it.
have terminated it if they wanted.
Yeah, because they've terminated a lot. I agree with you. But the point is that where it has reached.
Wait, are you sure you started Abuga Pele? I don't think so.
Yeah, it came under us.
No, Jida
But
was under
Abuga Pele,
Jida was under NDC. Abuga Pele was arrested, and to the best of my knowledge.
But the point is that all the prosecution happened under us.
How?
Yes, because we took the larger part of it to do. And for the record,
of Abuga Pele.
Abuga Pele
was jailed under Muhammad.
Abuga Pele was somebody who had personally engaged in activities, unlike Wuntumi. Wuntumi's own is because somebody has mined on his concession, not because Wuntumi had illegally mined on his concession. So these are two different matters. Somebody mined on Wuntumi's concession. Either he is negligent or he is complicit or any other matter, but not because Wuntumi mined on an illegality.
Okay.
So these are two separate things. And for me to say he's a political prisoner, because if he was a member of the NDC, the case wouldn't have traveled any far. If indeed the NDC today, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, wants us to believe and trust that they are fighting Galamsey, let's have the vice chairman and the national organizer being treated the same way. They should go to court. Let's put sunshine on it and let's report on it and get to the bottom of
the
matter.
But the fact that they referred it to Iyoko when they could have looked the other way, just like President Akufo-Addo did at the time where he said that Akunta Mining and Chairman Wuntumi were not engaged in any illegality. At least this government, this president, through his attorney general, issued a public statement and referred two national officers to Iyoko for investigation. You didn't do that. You said that you cleared him and said he was good. He should go. Now the court has said that decision was wrong.
After the referral, what has happened? We are not interested in output. We are interested in outcomes.
So you want him to? But what if what if they found
let's get outcome. They should go ahead. Let's see. They should put sunshine on it. All of us should go to court. Let's see what is happening.
Talking about sunshine. So Asasi Radio is owned by a member of the NPP.
They said so. I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, that's fine. On September 30, 2022, I'm looking at their website now. Story by Fred Jakpata. He says Lands Minister stops company from mining in Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Attah-Mensah, has directed the Forestry Commission to halt the operations of Akunta Mining Limited in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve, an official statement has said. The directive is coming on the back of concerns raised by civil society groups, including Arocha Ghana, over illegal mining in the forest reserve. A statement issued by the minister on Friday said the company has no mineral right to undertake mining operations in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve. This is the same Akunta Mining mine owned by Chairman Wuntumi we are talking about. So this is where the woes of Wuntumi started, like I was saying to you earlier.
Well, you see, it was following some report and concerns by the civil society. And the action of Jinapo gives you the trust that he was a listening minister, that he had to stop the activities that is ongoing. But the report did not say that there was an investigation that clearly indicates that they are actually engaged. But this was something that was reported by the civil society. The first thing you have to do when there's a report and there's devastating issues there is to stop.
No, that's not the reason. The reason is that he was operating without license. That's what the minister's statement said.
But the point is
not
that
because he said that halt, let's investigate. No, he said that you don't have, so stop.
You see, the place you are talking about, is not the same place as
no, it's not.
court,
it's not.
right? So if it was alleged he was doing there, so if something is happening there, they should stop. First of all, you have to stop. That's why in the driving test, when you get to a T junction, the first thing you have to do is to stop before you can move. So if there is activities that are ongoing and it is alleged that there is distraction that is going, as a minister, the first thing is to stop it. So, and that was why the minister went ahead to stop. Afterwards, there have not been adverse findings to indicate that, in actual fact, Akunta mining was actually present in that. But mining in that particular reserve was being stopped because you needed to stop the distraction first and then get a mitigation measure.
Okay. Now that he's gone, you said that you're going to appeal the process. And then what else? I mean, we saw you when he was arrested. Your MPs went there to protest, to picket in front of Ioko. Now he has been arrested and taken to. So you said you would be appealing. Is there anything else you'll be doing on the political side for him? Because if he's a political prisoner, then clearly there should be political activities you lined up to deal with.
I think leadership is meeting and discussing a number of issues. When those issues are ready, I believe that the party will put up a program. But first, what is on the table is the lawyers gathering and making sure that we have a very good appeal to the appeals court, and that is where we want to proceed first and take the other steps. You have no
open nominations for regional national executives as yet, but Chairman Wontumi has a campaign team because he wanted to be chairman of your party. I spoke to the campaign manager this evening, and he said they have not given up yet, and they are still waiting. They will be writing to the party to understand what happens to such a person who was trying to run and now has been arrested, considering that they have a possibility of getting bail. How does the party intend to deal with the arrest of Wontumi vis-a-vis his intention to be your chairman?
Well, intention remains an intention. Ambition remains an ambition. We have not kickstarted the process for the election of national executives until we kickstart and there is any adverse issues that comes up. Chairman Wontumi remains the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the party. The party itself, together with the lawyers, has asked that the judgment be looked at and reviewed for an appeal system to go through. It can happen by the time that we open nominations. Maybe Chairman Wontumi will be a free man. Somebody can pick the form for Chairman Wontumi, fill the form for him. By the time submissions is going to be done, Chairman Wontumi can be a free man. Until such a period expires, we cannot rule out Chairman Wontumi in the entire contest because he has made his intention. You never know. You can make an intention, and God is waiting for the appointed time to fulfill that. Until such a time expires, we cannot rule him out.
Okay. Your constitution, I'm not sure, has made any statement on a convict running, but can a convict who is serving a sentence run to be your chairman?
If Chairman Wontumi becomes free at that time, at that period, then he is not a convict.
Yes, but if he's not?
If he's not, probably he will not also be applying to become a national chairman.
His people are busy. They said that they have not given up yet, which presupposes that they may actually even pick the forms.
Because they trust in God. Yeah. And we also trust in the process.
So is it possible that they can pick the forms, fill it for him, submit, he will contest and he will win and he become your chairman from and so on?
Everything is possible.
How is that possible? Practically, how is
that? There is nothing that God cannot do.
But practically, that's not possible.
As we sit here, God can decide to transform where we are sitting within a twinkle of an eye.
That's true.
So for that one, we cannot rule it out. There are people that you may underestimate or underrate, but in the event, in some few minutes or days, you see them that God has uplifted them. So in terms of time, it is very difficult to predict except God.
Okay. How are your electoral processes going? You have the constituency elections happening. You have the regional vettings happening. Talk to me about the constituency issues that you had, the outstanding ones. Have you dealt with all of them?
Yes, we have a couple of numbers of issues that came out from the constituency elections. We've referred about 41 of them to the electoral affairs committee of the party, which is a standing committee of the National Council. They have been given a timetable of appearance. Today, Central Region and then Bono Region have been appearing. They are listening to them and also looking at the guidelines and the rules in terms of the election processes. We've given them up to Friday to be able to deal with all those particular matters and report back to us. There were constituencies that we had originally put on hold, and we have extended the time period of the sitting executives to 31st December. A constituency like Bunkurugu, a constituency like Yendi, a constituency like Aguna West. So these were the 3 constituencies that we specifically mentioned, and added that other constituencies that would not be able to meet the timelines. Because if you cast your mind back, we had extended the time of all officers of the party to avail themselves to be able to go through the processes. Even with the national officers' tenure has been extended, because it was supposed to expire in August. It has been extended to September 18th. So if such an expiration comes, and because of a court or a technical issue, elections have not been conducted, the constituency cannot live without executives. So what the National Council has done is that they have ceded power to the steering committee to, as and when those constituencies in question that is going for elections, if any of them could not proceed because either by court or either by technical matter or either by any other issue, then the steering committee will add them to the 3 and give an extension whilst we work on to get those particular elections done. One may ask that this is something new. No, it has happened before. In the last administration in which I was part, I was a Deputy National Communications Director. Several constituencies were put on hold and elections were conducted after the national elections were done. And they were given an extension to vote in regional and vote in national. One from the northern region is Savulugu. Boku Central was one of them. Jomoro was one of them. A lot of other constituencies were being given that particular extension and given the chance to vote in regional and national. And after the national elections, you go there to conduct elections.
Your boss issued a statement, or is it rather a letter, to the Ashanti regional executives asking them to answer questions because they defied a party directive on conducting elections in some constituencies. Now that the leader of the regional executives in Ashanti is not with you currently, he's in prison, how are you going to deal with that defiance that you complained about and the nullification of the elections, which elections he conducted and actually went ahead to swear in new executives? How do you deal with that?
Those particular constituencies in question are part of those that are being addressed by the electoral affairs. But the specific invitation was to the steering committee, of which he was the chair for the steering committee. Mm-hmm. The decision to invite them was taken at the steering committee of the party. That's the National Steering Committee. And we all know the composition of the National Steering Committee. They were to appear before the National Steering Committee today. However, following the morning of yesterday, the National Steering Committee had put on hold that particular invitation. And until midday, that we, very early hours of the day, we heard that Chama would to me. So that has been suspended for now, and that will be revisited.
What about the regional vettings? How are they going?
Umaru is going very well. Per the plan that we have, the regional vettings are to commence on Monday. That was yesterday, and they are supposed to officially end on 23rd of July. So they are on course. They started yesterday. Today is another day. Tomorrow will be another day for them. Today is 21st. Tomorrow 22nd, the next day 23rd, and that's how it's going to end. After it is ended, then those who feel that they are aggrieved with the decisions that are taken, they are supposed to appeal to the appeals committee. We've just published the appeals list just less than 30 minutes ago as I entered here. So a 3-member appeals team has been constituted, chaired by somebody and then 2 other persons, one of which is a lawyer or 2 are lawyers. So they have all been constituted for appeals to be made to them so that decisions, so all the 16 regions have a 3-member appeals or appellate body for them to appeal to in terms of decisions.
When is the election?
The election is supposed to be on the 15th or 16th, depending upon the day that the region decides to choose. So it's not a 2-day election, it's a 1-day election, but the region is allowed to pick a specific one in terms of either 15th or 16th.
Just like you did with the constituency, so Saturday or Sunday.
Yes, please.
Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary, NPP. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I didn't ask you whether you are contesting any national position, because this one you are appointed. Will you be contesting anything on September? Is it September 18 or September what?
September 18th.
Will you be contesting?
September 18th to so specifically 19th. The election is on Saturday, 19th September.
Are you contesting any?
The role that I'm playing is more than a contest.
Okay.
Because I am the director of operations for the campaign for lawyer Justin Kodua Frimpong. And the last time, many people did not know the role that I played, but I was the middle fielder in terms of the campaign. Now he has handed over the blood of the campaign to me, and it's more than a contest. So if you ask me what I'm contesting, yes, I am contesting as Justin Kodua Frimpong.
I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Umaru.
Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary, New Patriotic Party.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. More day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Sport day. Charlie, you sure see you pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, more day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make him know they lose God.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Send me your messages 0539-986-996, 0539-986-996. That's a WhatsApp platform. On X, mention my handle at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973. Use the hashtag Eyewitness News, and the world will hear what you think. It's now time for news summaries. Fafa Melody Kotufe just came out of the Citi Newsroom with stories from the oven to share with us. So far, take it over.
Well, in more news, the National Service Personnel Association, NASPA, has suspended its agreement with Zeus Atlas Limited following concerns over the deduction of 60 cedis from service personnel allowances. Addressing journalists, NASPA President Abdul Wahab Bala Mohammed said the decision was directed by the Minister for Youth, Employment and Development, George Opariado, after widespread complaint. The association acknowledged that although the program was meant to improve the employability of personnel, many could not afford the deductions.
We fully acknowledge that the financial commitment required may not have been reasonable for all service personnel. Based on this progress, NASPA formally requested the National Service Authority to facilitate a reduction of 60 Ghana cedis to represent the duration of the training over a 4-month learning period. That is 15 cedis per month. So as to offset part of the program cost already incurred, which was what was deducted in the last allowance. However, as concerns about the program intensified, particularly regarding the deductions and the level of consultation, we took our time to engage our newly elected regional executives, receive feedback from service personnel, and as well as carefully review the issues that had been raised. Over the past few days, we have been engaged by the management of the National Service Authority over the concerns and frustrations expressed. In response to the feedback from the service personnel and general public, and as well as in line with the sector ministers and board's directive, the management have issued this directive to NASPA. the capacity building program, as currently structured, is hereby suspended with immediate effect, pending a comprehensive review of the program for a decisive action to be taken, which is in line with our sector minister and the sector minister, the Minister of Youth, Empowerment and Development, Honorable George Opariado's directive. Again, we wish to assure every national service personnel that there will be no further deductions on behalf of all in relation to the capacity building training. We would like to emphasize that we welcome this directive wholeheartedly. We thank the Minister, the Board and Management of the National Service Authority for their wisdom and firm guidance.
You are the president of the National Service Personnel Association, Abdul Wahab Bala Mohammed. Meanwhile, a group calling itself the Concerned National Service Personnel Association is calling for a refund of the 60 cedis deducted from their stipend. Speaking to City News, one of the group's conveners, Obed Owusu-Esiedu, highlighted the impact of the deduction on the living conditions of national service personnel.
If you are deducting an amount for a capacity building program, you need to consult us. Hello guys, are you guys interested in this capacity building program or not? And these are the kind of things that comes along with it. You are going to be charged 60 cedis or deducted 60 cedis or 180 cedis. So that is what we are advocating for. That since we weren't consulted, there is no way that we are supporting this thing. And this is not, I'm not even doing it for myself. We are not doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the national service personnel out there who heavily depends on this 715 and is facing critical deductions, whereas the person wasn't even consulted. That's what we stand for.
For how many months have you been deducted?
All right, so the initiative actually is such that they will deduct for 3 good months. So the first month, they will deduct 60 cedis. The second month, they will deduct 60 cedis. And in the third month too, they will deduct 60 cedis, making 180 cedis in all. So per the program and their agreements and whatever they are saying, they are charging each personnel 180 Ghana cedis. And that's so uncalled for. So this allowance is meager. It doesn't even do anything. Transportation, food, others are also, they've rented and they are paying utility bills. And looking at the economy and the situation that we are in, 715 in itself doesn't even do anything. How much more you taking 60 cedis out of it? Another 60 and also a third 60. There's no way we are supporting this. We are not seeking for suspension of the program. What we are seeking for, regardless of the suspension and everything, is that they would refund and halt any further deductions. There is no way we are, and make it voluntary. If you are doing this capacity building program, it's important you do a consultation process. You ask us, are you guys interested? Yes or no? And if you are interested, this is what is coming along with it. We are going to charge you this and that. That is what we want to know. Accountability, fairness, transparency. So there is no way we, as concerned national service personnel, we are sitting aloof whilst this will go on and affect our welfare. There is no way we are doing that.
That was the convener of the Concerned National Service Personnel Association, Obed Owusu-Esiedu. Now, the Ghana AIDS Commission is urging the public to seek early testing and treatment, warning that HIV remains a public health threat despite a decline in new infections. According to the Commission's 2025 National HIV Estimate and Projections, Ghana recorded a 14% reduction in both new HIV infections and AIDS-related deaths. Speaking to City News, the Deputy Director of Programs at the Commission, Derek Oponwijari, said sustained efforts are needed if Ghana is to achieve its goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat by 2030.
Ghana AIDS Commission has estimated how the rate of infection should reduce before Ghana can reach epidemic control by 2030. There has been a decline, but the decline is not as steep as we expected or we projected. As at 2025, or that's last year, the total number of new infections or newly diagnosed HIV cases was 13,951. We wanted it to be less, but then this is what we have done. This is what we are going to work on to ensure that going forward, it reduces to the level that we want it to be. I won't say positive. When you say positive, it means we are doing so well. It has declined, but it has declined marginally. It's not as we wanted it to be. we are nowhere near epidemic control. We are still broadcasting to the public. We just pointed out other media houses that HIV is still a public health threat, and all the preventive measures must be taken in place.
Well, that was the Deputy Director of Programs at the Ghana AIDS Commission, Derek Opon Ejari.
And that was Fafa Melody Portufe of the City Newsroom with news summaries. Let's return to the story about... no, we'll not return to Chairman Wontumi. We'll rather talk about former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Tonight, we are learning that the judge in the U.S. is saying that the evidence that was brought before him by the Office of Special Prosecutor in Ghana doesn't carry the weight that is required, and that's why he was given permanent residence. And we are hearing that there's more. Let me speak to Frank Davis, his lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. Mr. Davis, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Good evening to your cherished listeners and esteemed viewers.
Good evening to you. It's good to hear from you. I want to...
Marusanda.
Yes, sir, Counsel. Counsel, I want to treat you like a reporter today without salary.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I know you are. I know
you have always been taking advantage of me, but go on.
Also, how did the judge, or how and where and why did the judge speak about Ken Ofori-Atta? Because as far as I'm concerned, there haven't been any matters in the news recently. So how did this new information emerge? Was it contained in a judgment? And how important is what the judge said to your client's freedom?
Good evening once again. I think when I spoke to you after the last hearing, I said to you that there was going to be another hearing, okay, on submissions pertaining to the adjustment of the immigration status. Right? Because a fresh application was filed for the court to determine the issue thoroughly. Now, what happened? And this should be made clear whether this knee-jerk statements which come from the Office of the Special Prosecutor will be put to bed and will rest once and for all. I have always said on behalf of the legal team that our main emphasis in this matter is due process and the rule of law. And that is what has guided our engagement from the beginning till now. Now, when the matter came before the immigration court, presided over by His Honor Judge Sadi, there was representation from the Ghana side. It wasn't a one-sided matter. There was representation from the Ghana side. Okay, and then our counterpart lawyers in America. The Ghana side furnished the court with a 200-page plus affidavit sworn to from the Office of the Special Prosecutor that was placed before the judge. In their opposition to the adjustment of his status as a counter to what Ken's lawyers in America were praying for. And they also attached the charges, the supposed charges preferred against Ken. Those were labeled as Exhibit 5 and 6, if I recall it clearly. Now, after... Hello?
I'm listening to you, sir.
Yes. After going through perusing the annexures and exhibits attached, together with the charge sheet, the judge made this significant finding. And listen to me carefully. The judge said, and I quote him, I have great experience in reviewing and considering allegations of corruption against government officials, fraud, embezzlement, and similar wrongdoing. after perusing the 20-page plus affidavit in support shown to by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I'm unable to find any persuasive proof or credible material evidence to found any criminal wrongdoing against Kenneth Nanaya Kuntu-Kunu-Kofu-Attah. He went on to say that the affidavit is made up of conclusory allegations which do not point to any credible or reliable evidence to commit criminal wrongdoing on the part of Kenneth Kofu-Attah. These were the findings of the judge. This is not my language. This is the judge's language. You can get the transcript and read it thoroughly. I am quoting verbatim what the judge said. On the basis of that, the judge came to the same conclusion that all this going around against Ken had nothing to do with any wrongdoing on his part. And the judge makes specific reference to the ruling or the decision by Interpol, which also went through the challenge data that the Ghana Bureau had submitted to the Commission for the Control of Interpol Files. And they also stated that the charges that had been preferred against Kenneth Kofu-Attah was of a predominantly political nature and had nothing to do with criminal wrongdoing. What again is left to say? What again, Umaru, is left to say? So you see, when the Office of the Special Prosecutor comes out, now you see what I want to ask the Office of the Special Prosecutor, that before this matter came into the public domain, was he not aware that a ruling of the sort had been handed? You see, the Special Prosecutor should take pains to consult with his principal. He shouldn't act as an island on his own. He should consult with his principal at the Attorney General's office, and they would educate him on what is going on. If such a finding is made, the court in America is a court of competent jurisdiction. It is not a zoo. It doesn't handle matters concerning prey animals. It is a court of competent jurisdiction. So if a judge should go through your affidavit and make such significant findings, you should be worried. And not coming out, they not come out throwing English and literature. We speak law as laws. Law. As a friend of mine would say, pure law. Due process.
And not
the rule of law.
But
OSP and not flowery language, English, and standing behind microphones and wearing 3-piece suits. No.
Oh, this is ad hominem counsel.
Sorry about that.
But he said, well, I'm using he to represent the Office of Special Prosecutor, that the proceedings in the immigration court do not determine the validity of corruption charges pending against him.
I said the judge paraphrased by saying that he has great experience in reviewing and considering allegations of corruption against government officials. I'm not saying that the matter has ended. I'm saying this is what the judge said amongst other things. And if I were the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I would be worried.
But the office keeps insisting that the two matters should be dealt with separately, and that his extradition is being dealt with separately from his permanent residency status.
Why then did they place that 200+ page affidavit before the judge?
So you mean they were defeated in the court and they have not? They don't want to admit that.
Look, Umaru. This is in clear defiance of common sense and logic. Don't let us talk about law, because the law is a legal absurdity. If that is the argument, why did they place that 200+ page affidavit before the judge? Why they thought it wouldn't come? It didn't come into the public domain. Why did they intend to smuggle it? The judge said he has perused it. I didn't take it for him. At least not accountable lawyers in America. There was presentation for the Ghana side, and they placed that material before the judge. So if Kisi has any problem, he should deal with these people.
I have It's part of the statement I want to read out for you, ask for your comment, and then you can take leave of us. There's a quote from the statement. It said, Mr. Ofori-Atta remains a fugitive from justice in Ghana, and he's required to submit himself to the jurisdiction of the High Court, Accra, to answer the criminal charges pending against him. End of quote. What do you say to that?
He is pedestrian. Very, very pedestrian, coming from a trained lawyer. But inform that the officer that I'm saying again that to date, they have not been able to notify Ken of his charges. He should do that first, and then the ancillary step of Ken coming to Ghana will follow. But he should bear in mind. If he is not aware, he should bear in mind. He should learn from his principals, the office of Attorney General. He should bear in mind that there's an extradition request pending. Tell the office of the assistant prosecutor that in all of this, there's an extradition request pending. First things first, he should notify Kenneth Ofori-Atta of his criminal charges leveled against him. A man can only answer to charges preferred against him. He cannot answer anything he has no knowledge of. So he should first take that first step of notifying him. And then when he has done that, he should also think about the extradition request. And then we'll talk about Ken's trial.
Very well.
Is that good enough?
Yes, for me. And I'm sure they'll be listening, so they would have heard you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for speaking to us.
Thank you.
That's Frank Davis, his lawyer for former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's now time for the latest in the world of business. And Nashika Caesar, in a beautiful purple dress, seated before me.
Is it purple now?
My colors are not good, but I think this is purple. Or it's not purple. Move.
I think it is.
Orange. Chocolate,
Could
green.
be orange. This cannot be orange.
They say I'm colorblind, so let me just
Looks
keep trying.
like you
Maybe
are.
when I'm on the color spectrum, I may land somewhere and it will be successful. What's up
Let's
in
stick
business?
with purple.
I've seen something that just disturbed me. It jumped at me. Let me just read that before. If it's contained in your news, they're fine. Ghana's public debt rises significantly by 47 billion in 3 months. That's scary.
True. It is.
Hey,
It is.
we don't want to start going to hold debt, and they put Atto Forsons there. On our website, Newsroom.
Like his picture?
Yeah, on our website.
Yeah, it's on our website, yes.
Ghana's total public debt stock
it's gone up.
Increased by 46.7
I know,
billion.
it's worrying. We'll bring you details of that.
Yeah, we don't want more debt, so please, when you go to the next, you go to Finance Ministry, when you go tell Atto that we beg. He's forcing, but loan.
He's forcing it.
Maybe I should hold on small.
You have his number, right?
Yeah, but this is when I call, he doesn't pick up. It's Raymond.
I wouldn't if I were in his
It's Raymond
shoes.
Aqua who I'll call. Thank you. Please give us the latest in the world of business.
Right. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, says renewed volatility in global oil markets could have significant implications for Ghana. His comments come amid renewed uncertainty in global energy markets, with Brent crude oil prices rising above $90 per barrel earlier on Tuesday following renewed tensions around the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking at the opening of the 131st Monetary Policy Committee meetings at the Bank Square, Dr. Isiama said development in global oil markets would be a key consideration as the committee assesses Ghana's external sector outlook and determines the appropriate monetary policy stance.
Global developments have broadly evolved along the lines we anticipated at our previous meeting, though downside risks have become more pronounced. The mid-June ceasefire briefly eased tensions and allowed oil prices to retrace much of their earlier increase. Renewed hostilities around the Strait of Hormuz have since reignited volatility in energy markets, with Brent rebounding above $85 per barrel earlier this week. The persistence of elevated energy prices has slowed the anticipated pace of global disinflation and prompted several central banks to reassess the timing of further easing. The renewed volatility also reinforces the importance of the scenario analysis that this committee undertook earlier in the year. For Ghana, as a commodity exporting yet energy importing economy, these developments reinforce the need to assess carefully the extent to which external cost pressures may influence the domestic inflation outlook over the policy horizon.
You heard there the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama. Now, producer price inflation dipped to 3.5% in June 2026, down from 5.8% in May. According to the latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service, the 2.3 percentage point decline was largely driven by mining and quarrying, which accounts for 43.7% of the producer price index. Releasing the report, the government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu said the easing in producer prices could help reduce cost pressures for businesses and provide some relief to consumers as lower production costs filter through to retail prices.
So on average, producers were charging 3.5% more than in June 2025. That's down from the 5.8% in May 2026 by 2.3 percentage points. Now, month on month, which compares June 2026 to just the month before, prices actually fell by 3.7%. Producers on average charged less in June than in May 2026. What drove this? One word: mining. Mining and quarrying is our largest sector, and its yearly rate dropped sharply from 11% in May 2026 to just 2.6% in June 2026. That single shift pulled the whole index down. But not everything cooled. Manufacturing rose from 0.8 to 3.5%. Electricity and gas climbed 12.5%. Transport and storage reached 10%.
Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu is a government statistician. Now, banks operating in Ghana wrote off 883.7 million cedis in unpaid loans during the first 4 months of 2026, according to the latest Domestic Money Bank's income statement released by the Bank of Ghana. The amount is 35.1% higher than the 654.2 million cedis recorded over the same period last year, reflecting the growing value of loans banks no longer expect to recover. Here's more.
The central bank says the figure also includes provisions for loan losses, depreciation and other related expenses. Despite the increase in loan write-offs, the quality of banks' loan books showed some improvement. The industry's non-performing loan ratio, which measures the share of loans that are not being repaid, fell to 18% in April 2026, down from 23.6% a year earlier. The total stock of bad loans also declined to 20.7 billion Ghana cedis compared to 21.7 billion Ghana cedis in April 2025. The Bank of Ghana says the private sector continued to account for almost all bad loans, with businesses responsible for 98.2% of non-performing loans, up from 96.5% a year earlier. The public sector's share, however, dropped to 1.8%. The improvement in loan repayment was recorded across almost all sectors of the economy. The only exception was agriculture, forestry and fishing, where the share of bad loans worsened, rising from 62.1% in April 2025 to 66.1% this year.
That was a Business Desk report. Now, as Finance Minister Dr. Cassiel Atuforton prepares to present the 2026 Media Budget Review to Parliament, energy sector stakeholders are looking to government for targeted interventions to stabilize the power sector and cushion households and businesses from rising energy costs. The expectations come amid renewed geopolitical tensions that have pushed global crude oil prices higher. We have more in this report. The government faced intermittent power outages earlier this year, renewing concerns about the stability of the power sector and challenges confronting the industry. For energy sector players such as Executive Director of the Centre for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Nsia, government has yet to achieve some of the key targets outlined in the 2026 budget.
As we speak, it is not started, which is the 1,200 thermal infrastructure has not started. The government also mentioned that they were going to construct the GPP2. As we speak, it has not started.
Benjamin Nsia is therefore expecting government to use the media budget review to address these gaps and put the energy sector back on track.
Targets have not been achieved, and we need to have a review of that in the media budget, indicating challenges associated with fiscal implementation or allocation of resources to complete these targets.
Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amarteifio, is also calling on government to ring-fence funds for the payment of independent power producers. He argues that ensuring timely payment to IPPs is critical to maintaining stable power generation and preventing a recurrence of supply disruptions that could affect households, businesses, and economic activity.
I would urge the Finance Minister to also continue to provide the timely interventions and payment to the IPPs.
Duncan Amarteifio is also pressing government to reduce the 1 cedi levy, which adds to the cost of petroleum products at a time when consumers and businesses are already facing pressure from rising fuel prices.
Up to a point, we should be able to ease down on it and tell the Ghanaian that we had a crisis situation, we've been able to stabilize that. Maybe we can reduce it to 50% at some point, right? So that it can still be able to generate something to contribute to greater stability of the power sector.
The media budget review comes amid renewed geopolitical tensions that have pushed global crude oil prices higher, with the impact already feeding into Ghana's ex-pump fuel prices. Higher fuel prices could increase transportation and production costs, adding further pressure on businesses and the prices of goods and services. Energy sector players, including Benjamin Sia, therefore believe the government must introduce measures to cushion consumers and businesses from the impact of rising fuel prices.
In terms of intervention, I think that it is due, and it's very critical that that is also announced, because the expectation is that all that things being equal, the price of diesel is likely going to cross 20 Ghana cedis per litre come next window.
For Duncan Amarteifio, measures ought to be put in place to embark on a strategic reserve program amid geopolitical tensions.
There's quite a lot of monies in the petroleum sector, particularly. We talk of the UPPF normally. We would expect that some amount of these revenues would be channeled towards the strategic reserve program.
That was Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amarteifio, ending that report. And that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. For more business-related stories, you can visit our website, citynewsroom.com.
Thank you so much, Nashika Caesar from the City Business Desk. Up next is Talk Back.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Come get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From my emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
You know that feeling. A hospital bill that arrives out of nowhere. A diagnosis you weren't prepared for. A system that seems designed to confuse you and costs that keep climbing. And the stress of not knowing if you are protected. Eden isn't lost. Eden Care was created to give it back to you. Eden Care is health insurance made for everyday family life. With Eden Care, getting healthcare is easy and you are backed by a trusted insurance partner with years of experience. No confusing terms, just complete protection for your entire family. Step back into peace. Step into experience you can rely on. Reach out right now at 059 692 1844 and choose Eden Care today. Eden Care is brought to you by Acacia Health Insurance, a member of the Enterprise Group.
Ufie betimi adani baby a upebia. Betimi adani stadium.
Hey, what a strike!
ana fa ko yebu TV any computer game wo aha yenko atoda ebetimi adani classroom
madam me pacho menti ase
yo yensam fa so bio ne wo he na wonti ase no
nini na
ebetimi adani office
aha orders no ahina ye ready okay mundi kan fanko Eastlegon
ebetimi po eso ye fa ko a ye hwehwemu wo
daddy ene big bang theory
chain mami bisa chat GPT
ubetimi amawufie adani baby a opese eyibia efise emfa ho ni ne opese oye wo fie MTN fiber betimi aboa amwoye nya 500 Mbps unlimited internet ani bo no form a free 299 Ghana cedis echo for MTN fiber bra fie ana wadwuma mu ene come my MTN app no so ana sebo *5057# but check fiber availability no so ana say number e wo gen no na receive fiber broadband oh baby, not Toby and
MTN.
Eno, you know what our father left us when he died?
Debts?
He left us land, Eno. But Nanayo said the land is his. The court said, come back in 2031.
Hey, that's not an inheritance. That's a curse, brother.
Real Ejapade doesn't come with disputes. At Deftraco Woodlands, a 592-acre master planned gated city in Dawenya, your inheritance is waiting. Don't leave your children a court case. Leave them Deftraco Woodlands. The Ejapade they'll be proud of. Visit woodlands.devtracogroup.com. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0208-732-302.
Kofi, I think we need to call them.
Deftraco Woodlands, where your roots run deep.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's now time to put the microphone in your hands, and I've been joined by Sami Wiafi to help us do that. Talkback is brought to you by Valex Lease Limited, Equipment Limited. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions. Sami, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Umaru.
What are our messages?
Let's start from Pediasia. Then the Lanyo Agba says,
Agbe
says, Chairman
Agbe is a short form of Agbenyega.
Oh, okay.
Or Agbenyefia. Or Agbeleji.
Okay. Agbe says, Chairman Wutimi and his supporters must accept the verdict in good faith. No one is above the law, and they should serve as a lesson for all wrongdoers. From Baba Chairman in Tamale says, the incarceration of Chairman Wutumi is nothing but a complete travesty of justice. I urge all parties sympathize, I'm sure he's talking about the MPP, to remain strong and steadfast and let all work hard to bring back the MPP in 2029.
The U.S. government will strategically benefit when amnesty is given to Ken Ofori-Atta because of his investment in their country. However, they have nothing to gain if he's extradited to Ghana. That is the reason they won't let him come back to the country he belongs. That's Emil Akwensevi in Akwemofie.
Akapo in Hafomim says, Chairman to me has to accept this as his faith and use it to convert souls for the Lord with his Bible quotations. I'm sure the good Lord wants him to get the gospel preached to all inmates in the prison. Chairman should not relent on his call to preaching back to back to the inmates.
But Akapo, you're a wicked man. You're a very, very wicked man. Why? Did he tell you that he's Jonas? That he wants to go to Nineveh to go and preach? What is this? The man was supposed to have gone to the seminary, according to... okay, his brother is a Catholic priest. Doesn't mean that he... Anyway, you let me leave it there. His campaign manager was speaking to me earlier and spoke about that matter. Akate Raymond in Agoti Mekpetwe says there was a satisfied report from Prof. Frimpong Manso. No,
Report what I'm sure, yeah.
Indicting Wontumi, but President Akufo-Addo hid it. If they care, why did they not prosecute him? As Akasokri Joseph in Bongo says, it seems like what Martin Pebu has been saying is coming to fruition, that the OSP is incompetent. Sami, this OSP matter, every day fresh news and the fact that, okay, so here's what I think. The Office of Special Prosecutor initiated proceedings to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back home. They're supposed to go and make arguments in the court. then suddenly there's a complaint from the Attorney General that the OSP self, they lack the power to prosecute, and that they need permission, which permission they don't have. So in law, there's something called jurisdiction, there's something called locus. If you don't have that, it really is difficult for you to even proceed. So it means that what the OSP in itself is being questioned. So if your very existence is being questioned, then what leg are you standing on to go and be asking for somebody to be brought home? And I'm very sure that the judicial people, the people in the judiciary in the US are watching the space, and they have heard that the OSP and Kasana is a questionable entity. At least the Attorney General's office is doing so. So far, it's like Kenneth Oriata 7, OSP nil.
But I think that matter is at the Supreme Court, right?
Yes, it is.
Seeking an interpretation on it.
Supreme
Okay.
Court, yes. But so far, like Ken is in a comfortable lead against Kisi Ejabin.
You are a lawyer or incoming lawyer. Let me say. So does it mean that bringing back Ken Yamutu from the judgment from the immigration court?
No,
you can give such an interpretation?
No, the OSP insists that matter has not even been dealt with yet. The extradition issues, they have to bring that before them. In fact, this is an immigration court. An immigration court deals with whether your visa has expired, whether ICE should detain you, and those matters. And the immigration court has decided to grant him permanent residence.
Yeah.
The understanding I got from Frank Davis is that the OSP had gone to argue copiously before the court, saying that the man should be brought home, blah, blah, blah. But the judge has said that no, what you have brought before us, all the evidence has fallen flat.
Yeah, not convincing enough.
So if that's the case, that's a separate matter. So that's why they granted him the permanent residence. The only thing is that having permanent residence makes him closer to a U.S. citizen than not having that. So, I mean, the U.S. usually would protect their own. So if this person has a permanent residence, he's on the way to getting citizenship. And again, he has assets. He has gone to school in that country and all of those. So all these things are considered. What I'm seeing is the OSP has to fix its act here first.
Yeah.
If they don't fix their own legitimacy questions, then they cannot really proceed.
And I'm sure the Supreme Court has to fast track the process then. So at least it will help in this direction.
So
because
that we know whether the OSP is legitimate or illegitimate.
Let's continue with the WhatsApp message. There's someone is giving you thumbs up. It says, you are interesting. The way you interview a person is worth studying. Kudos, boss. This is from Kofi in Tema.
Thank you so much. I'll set up a journalism institute.
Jones Adoboila says, I couldn't imagine Win to me in prison. Indeed, the law is the law. This will serve as a deterrent to others who are destroying our forests. Abba Papa Abba.
Sami, talking about that imagination, this morning I woke up and I started thinking, how much time is 20 years? Sami, 20 years, Papa.
It's a long time, but not a long time.
Sami, 20 years ago.
It will come right now, tomorrow. You'll be surprised.
It will not come if you're in prison. Sami, 20 years. Sami, 20 years is how long ago? Like, if you just want to... 20 years ago.
So 20 years, we're talking about 20...
20...
So let's count from 2026.
It's 2046.
So it's 46. That's
2046. Do you know how many elections will be held before then?
But son, I will come right now. As the accounts will say, Eme in Cheba.
Where do you bet Cheba? I mean, 20 years. Look, this morning I sat down, I fooled them. I said, hey, 20 years. Charlie, 20 days in solitary confinement.
Well, and
20 years.
Wow.
Even though he will not spend all 20 years because it may be, I mean, the prison may not. Charlie, but even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It is scary. I feel sad. I feel sad for Untu. And to think that this is one of 3 cases. He has to be praying. And he has to also pay money. Remember,
the other one. Yeah.
Yesterday's judgment includes payment of money to the state. And if you fail to pay that, 3 years.
More trouble ahead.
I mean, his brother is a pastor in Takrady, according to his campaign manager. Maybe he'll pray for him. Let's pray for him as well. But I mean, of course, wrong has to be punished. And so far,
wrong is wrong.
We are on the side of the courts.
Wrong is wrong.
Which has said that what he has done is illegal and has decided to sentence him. Until that is overturned, that is what the law is. Wilson Yogaina Butiateti says, Ghana recently assisted in extraditing individuals to the U.S. Reciprocity in upholding justice is vital. That's what he's trying to say in relation to Kenneth Oriata. This one says, even if Wontumi walks free today, he's still an ex-convict. who can no longer contest for political office. Wontimi's case should serve as a lesson to both parties, NDC and MPP, those who are engaging in galamsey. That's Cornelius sending a message from Osunyani in the Bono region. Sami.
Let's do Yawo from Achimota and says, let our ministers in Ghana know that there's vast difference between Ghanaian courts and American courts. They should do their homework well and stop disgracing themselves.
Let's take the next message. It's from Malam Fuzi in Tamale. He says, the precedent this NDC Mahama government is setting will bite them in the future. How on earth would the AG leave the galamsey off the hook while convicting the concession owner who has no hands in the galamsey activities? It's obvious that Chairman Wontimi has been a target. That's he says, quote unquote, we are watching and we are nothing.
Depending on where you stand politically, you read your own meanings into the judgment.
Babs Lamakara in Tamale says the most common phrase used by MPP folk is elections have consequences. Tomorrow is pregnant, tables will turn. Didn't Chairman Wontimi know tables will turn when he was mining with impunity in forest reserves? Let me take the last message to them.
The last one from We the People on Oyarifa says, please do you mean to say that just got to know all these? Unfortunately, this is something we all know as football lovers. So for the head of the Ghana Sports Fund, getting to know this now is quite worrying. I think that some political parties are mutating into something else, as we can no longer tell whose name or interest they do politics with the people from YRF. I'm sure in relation to the director of the administrator of the sports fund you interviewed earlier.
Who joined us earlier. Thank you so much, Sami Biafe. It's our news editor here, joining me for Talk Back on Eyewitness News. That's by way of tonight's edition of the show. I'm Umar Rusanda Amadu. I was joined earlier by Fafa Melody Portfolio brought us news summaries. Nashika Caesar brought us the business news. We were production tonight supported by Kobina Wilson, Bevelyn Landon, Fred Tete Jabano, Juliana Odame Asari helping us with the production, of course, Nanato for Boatin. The technical support from Desmond Nyako, supported by Renise Foley, and new media support came to us from the new media department of Citi FM, led by Edwin Kwakofi. We'll be back tomorrow at 1700 GMT. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.